Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Dustsilver D66 mechanical keyboard that was sent over to me by Dustsilver themselves for my honest review. Now this keyboard comes in two different themes, Peach Oolong and Rainbow Sprinkles. The one I have here today is their Peach Oolong variant with Gateron black switches. Now right off the bat, the unboxing experience is quite nice. It's very simple and all the extra components that you will need come in this nicely packaged box, which includes the manual, a keycap and switch puller, a non-braided cable unfortunately, and some extra keycaps and the wireless adapter as well. Because this keyboard does have multi-connectivity, it has wired 2.4 GHz wireless and Bluetooth as well, and it can all be changed via a slider on the back of the keyboard case. Now with that being said though, the slider on the back of the keyboard case is kind of hard to use, it doesn't really work as well as I'd hope to, and there's no really indication on the case itself to see whether or not you're in 2.4 GHz mode or Bluetooth mode. Other than that though, the switches are pre-lubed and they are generously factory lubed. If you are going to think about getting this keyboard, don't even think about getting any of the Otemu options, because I do not believe those are pre-lubed. To be quite honest with you, the stock experience is quite nice. There is no ping, the stabilizers have very minimal rattle to them, and overall it's just a genuinely nice sounding and nice feeling keyboard. So here's a quick sound test of how it sounds stock. Now I wanted to get right into some things that I didn't really like about this keyboard and then go over other stuff as well. So first off, they say this keyboard is a top mounted design. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is just a tray mounted keyboard. Top mount usually means when you screw the plate to the top part of the keyboard case, but this one is screwed to the bottom. The other thing I didn't like is the plate material they went with. It's an aluminum alloy, but it doesn't sound the greatest or feel the greatest either. I think at this price point of $98 or $109, I'm starting to expect better plate options. The other thing I was not a big fan of is the fact that it is not south facing. It does have north facing RGB sockets. Now that is great if you want to focus on the RGB aspect of things, but if you wanted to use cherry profile keycaps, you might run into some issues with some cherry profile interference, so that is definitely something to keep in mind. When it comes to the knob itself, I felt like the pressing down aspect of it would get stuck sometimes after clicking on it. That can be quite annoying or frustrating if you're just doing it on the fly. When it comes to the keycap quality, it's pretty good. The colors are very vibrant and nice. The thickness is pretty decent for this price point, so no issues there, but I definitely am not a big fan of this gamer looking font. I think if they just went with a normal font, it would have probably looked better. Now, like I said, the switches are very lubed. Whether or not you like a super lube switch is obviously up to you. I wouldn't necessarily say they're mushy. Other than that though, the sound test sounded pretty good. I can't really hate on it for that because the stock experience is quite nice. The stabilizers are very nice right out of the box, so all I really had to do was syringe lube them. I went ahead and took apart the keyboard, and it does have some pretty decently thick foam inside there as well. When it comes to stiffer plate materials, I prefer tactile switches, so I installed some tactile switches and I tried doing tape mod to this keyboard, but there is like little to no room in this keyboard. So if I'm being honest with you, if you wanted to mod this keyboard, all I would suggest you do is try to lube the stabilizers because they are plate mounted, and just swap out the switches. I would not open up this keyboard. It was kind of a hassle too, and it just didn't really do anything since there's not enough room in the case to do anything at all. The good thing about this is the fact that you don't have to worry about hollowness for this keyboard, since this one has practically none at all, especially because that foam does a really good job of removing the hollowness that would have been there without it. With that being said, I installed the Hanami Dango tactile switches because I felt like I went with a green backspace and escape key, and They do have that light diffuser for RGB, and since these do have north facing sockets, I felt like this would be pretty good for this build. Here's the sound test with those tactile switches. So like I said, all I did was swap out the switches, and I didn't really do any other mods other than lubing the stabilizers. I know some people may prefer the sound of the stock typing experience, but I felt like when it comes to the tactile experience, this felt a lot better. It may not have sounded as good, but I prioritize feel over sound, and in my opinion, I don't think it sounds too bad either. But overall, it gets the job done, it sounds good, has tri-mode connectivity. They did kind of lie when it comes to the top mount design, but that can be forgiven for the fact that it's just a overall good typing experience. I'll be leaving a link to this keyboard in the description below if you did want to check it out. But other than that, let me know what you guys thought about the Dustsilver D66 in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.